y'all. Today, obviously, I hope it's obvious, we're making tacos. So this is what we need today in the kitchen. Please make sure you have your sink empty and you're wearing your lovely apron and you have all of these ingredients ready at your disposal. Some things you might not have but you can substitute would be, for example, dried minced onions. You can use a fresh onion as long as you mince it pretty small. Same thing with minced garlic. If you don't have pre-minced garlic, go ahead and just use fresh garlic and mince it that way. If you don't have that, use garlic powder. There's a lot of different ways you can go ahead and substitute different things for these different ingredients. So this is kind of my favorite cheat, I guess, in the kitchen is the taco mix. I obviously have my H-E-B's brand, but I'm not going to use that one actually. I'm going to use the McCormick one because it's already half used and I only use half a packet, and that's part of this recipe. So it's the same thing, it's just that one was full and this one was not, so it doesn't matter what brand you use. Or if you get spicy or mild. I don't like spicy, so I get mild. But taco seasoning is amazing. We need garlic salt, we need minced onions, we need ground cumin, whatever you want to call it. Fajita seasoning is another one of my absolute staples in the kitchen. I use it on everything, not just fajita or Mexican food recipes. It's good just for everything. And then crushed red pepper, I use a very teeny tiny bit in my tacos, taco meat, but if you like yours spicy, you might want some more. And of course, minced garlic, can't forget our meat. Your fat portion is up to you. I use a 90-10, 80-20 is fine, 75-25, whatever. Obviously, the higher fat content, the more flavorful it will be, but obviously it will be higher fat content. So, get your supplies, your ingredients, your supplies. You're going to need a skillet, preferably non-stick. You will also, if you have one, they're fantastic, need a, I don't know, what are these called? Meat crumbler? I don't really know. They're great. If you don't have one of these, a wooden spoon would be just fine as well. And that's it. So let's get started. Alright, so hopefully your hands are washed, and this is your lovely meat that you just got out of the tube. It's a pound of ground beef, and we're going to kind of use our hands to break it up first before it gets hot. My skillet is already on. It's on about medium heat right now, and I'm just breaking up the meat a little bit more before it starts really heating up. And then we're going to wash our hands again because we're touching raw meat. Alright, flash forward, my hands are nice and clean now, and some people may do this differently, but you're obviously watching my videos, so you trust the way I do things. I like to put my garlic and onions in with the raw meat to get those flavors really going. So we're going to put about, I don't know, about a tablespoon, I guess, of the garlic, which if you're mincing your own garlic, that's going to be about 2 garlic, what are those cloves? 2 garlic cloves? And, oh, I love garlic. It smells so great. And then with the minced onion, about the same amount. We might want to go a little bit heavier on the onion flavor, so about maybe 2 tablespoons. Let's do 2 tablespoons, not quite 3, so I'm going to eyeball it. 1-ish, 2-ish, and just kind of sprinkle it in there. If you're chopping your own onion, that's about 1/4 to 1/3 of a small onion, chopped real finely, minced. And we let that just kind of simmer and cook down. We brown it, that's what that's called. Remember, this channel is for newbies, so please be nice in the comments. If you're like, I know what browning is, that's great for you. Some people might not. So when you brown meat, you're literally browning the meat. You're turning it to that kind of grayish, brownish color. You're taking all the pink out of it, so it is no longer raw. And as it is cooking, we're going to use this tool to break it up even further, and hopefully it'll do that pretty quickly. So I'll come back when it's a little bit more done. Okay, at this point it's been about 2 or 3 minutes, so it doesn't take very long for your meat to start browning. Obviously you still see some pink in there. It's not completely browned. That's fine. But about 2 or 3 minutes in, once you get about halfway browned, we're going to start adding in the rest of our spices and ingredients. So garlic salt, we're going to sprinkle in about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on your salty flavored preference. Obviously, less salt is better in the beginning because you can always over salt it and then you can't take that away. So it's better to undersalt in the beginning and then later add salt to it. Comino is next, or cumin. We're going to add about an additional, I'm going to add that taco seasoning. Remember, this is an additional, so don't freak out. It's not that much. We're going to add about another half a teaspoon right here. And I'm eyeballing, but if you're not that confident yet on how much a half a teaspoon looks like, go ahead and get your measuring spoons out. And my fajita seasoning, that has salt in it as well, so kind of don't be super liberal with that. About another half a teaspoon of our fajita seasoning. And lastly, our crushed red pepper. This, I would really err on the caution of less is more. So my trick is, remember, I put them in my hand and it doesn't look like much, but red pepper flakes heat up really quickly. So just a few is plenty for me. I don't like spicy very much, but a little bit is not too bad, especially when it comes to Taco Tuesday. Now, we're going to let that kind of marinate together. We're going to let it cook up together and mix it up so all those flavors get in there nice and evenly. And if you need your little meat crusher tool, I don't know what it's called, guys. Do you know what this is called? If your pieces are too big still, go ahead and get that in there and mix it up, or crush it up, I guess, a little bit more. And then I'll be right back. I did want to show you, it is completely brown now, so this is what it looks like. It's actually brown. This tool, you use it literally like a masher, like a potato masher. I don't know if you have one of those when you mash potatoes, those little masher things. It's just for meat. And so you literally are mashing the meat down to little bitty pieces or smaller pieces because it's taco meat. And you don't want giant pieces of taco meat in your tacos, right? At least not ground beef, maybe with fajita meat, but not ground beef. So your next step, you're going to need some hot water. I didn't have that in the ingredients list, so if you don't have hot water ready, go ahead and get that ready, and we'll get the next step in. Alright, so last step, well, kind of last step, last ingredient is our taco seasoning, and I only use half a packet because we already put a lot of spices in there, and this stuff just kind of really seals the deal with taco flavor. I don't know what else is in here, honestly, that makes it so just taco-y. But it just makes it perfect. So I put half of a packet, I already used half last time, so half of a packet of taco seasoning and about half a cup of hot water. And you're like, water? Why are we doing that? It's going to make it real, you'll see, it's that taco consistency. Right now it's really soupy, yes, but we're going to let it simmer. We're going to let it boil really, really lightly. That's what simmering is, just a really light boil for about 5 or 6 minutes until it gets real thick, I guess. That we don't want that watery consistency. We want it to be thicker. But we're also going to turn our stove temperature down, our stove setting down to about a low medium heat so that it's not just completely evaporating all that water we just put in there. So I'll be back when it's the right consistency. Alright guys, it's been literally about 3 or 4 minutes and it's perfect. And we're done. That's it, guys. We have taco meat, so you can have Taco Tuesday any day of the week now. It's that easy. You can have it on a salad. You can have it in taco shells. You can have it with chips and cheese. Congratulations, you've made tacos. If you feel like your tacos are too thick, like you don't have that kind of, I don't know, sauce, I guess we call it, add a little bit more water and let it simmer a little bit more and you'll be good. But again, always start with less. Same thing with the salt, right? Less is more. You can it's easier to add more than take more away. So I hope you enjoyed. Happy Taco Tuesday, which is not really Tuesday right now, but hopefully you're enjoying tacos. Bye guys.